but it's again early. You got to show that you can compete and sustain against Hoover, or you will just get overwhelmed.
And the tip now is controlled by Hoover. They're starting 5: Brown, Fairley, London, Heron, and Thomas.
And multiple Division I players on the court for Hoover. Couple on the court for Dothan as well. It's a good drive to see.
High off the glass, Jared Fairley, the young sophomore, making a big one.
Well, he's kind of the guy, you know about London, you know about Brown, but Fairley's the guy, and he can give it to you in a lot of ways. And so you got to keep an eye on number one. Good take there.
Oh, and they tried to go inside, and that pass goes awry, and it'll be Hoover basketball.
Will be Hoover basketball. Starting out the game, similar to the last game, get a good opening shot as you see the layup go in over Dowd, and then just the pressure of Hoover in the defensive end. It's going to be tough for Dothan in the half court. They're going to have to get some stops and get out and run in transition.
London now with the basketball. Going to kick it back out to Fairley. Ooh, tried a nice pass inside. Couldn't find anything. Good.
I like the positioning by Dothan. I love the fronting of the post and making him throw over the top to get the ball to Brown. Excellent job that time by number 1 Porter guarding the big fella.
Ramon Blackman gets it over to Dowd. Dowd with a nice right-hand runner, and he gets it to go. We're all tied up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, Dowd's a dynamic player, does a lot of things, shoots it pretty well, but he can really get in that lane and finish. He's long, he's great on defense, played 3 positions, and here's Dothan trying to speed up that tempo.
Nice spin move using the left hand, can't go, but the putback is good, and they get back on the board again.
Casito.
Good job there by Casito. He's coming in to start.
Everywhere, man, and he's the one that does it all. He and Fairley are similar. You got one on the perimeter, one in the post. Just great role players for Bucks.
Dowd hits off the backside of the rim, goes off the knee of Fairley, and Fairley gets it back over to Heron for an easy lay-in.
He does, and now you'll really see Hoover in this pressure in the half court. You can see on the bench they're clapping, saying defense. That's their trademark. You'll hear it all day.
Dothan. Try to cut into this 4-point lead. Going down baseline, they go kick it outside, and great job, 2-pointer. They'll make it a 3 for Makai Menifee.
Yeah, inside out, got the pitch, and it's a big shot. You got to make those big shots to keep your pressure on and make Hoover uncomfortable.
6-5 now is your score. Hoover slowing it down. Trying to go inside. Yeah. Great job by Salim London.
Salim has D1 pedigree. Played against his dad, Tariq London, at Alabama. And he's longer, he's left. He's so crafty using his arms and hands around traffic. Excellent finisher is Salim London, and he is only a sophomore.
No doubt about it. Wolves now trying to cut this 3-point lead. Hits the rim, goes off. Brown with a big rebound. Big Dwayne Brown standing at 6'9".
He's a load. You'll see a lot more from him.
And it'll be a foul, but they'll take it out of bounds baseline.
Yeah, you see the drive. Look how crafty he is with the left. You got the shot blocker coming with the right hand, and Salim London goes left. You only see it, we talked about this last year, you only see a lefty about 10% of the time, maybe 8% of the time. So he's so crafty to finish. Now you'll see a post up right in the middle for Hoover.
Stampley comes in for A.J. Porter. And an easy one. Casito is sort of like the X factor in this game so far.
He is. That's a block there trying to make a play. But, you know, he's a matchup problem. You know, he can step out. He makes enough jump shots where you have to guard him. But he can finish around the rim. But down here on the defensive end, that is where he can guard 4 positions, maybe even 5 in high school. Just a valuable piece for Coach Scott Ware's team.
Stands 6'7", the senior. A lot of people talk about him inside the Hoover bubble, but they don't really talk about him everywhere else. But he is Johnny on the spot. Salim London with the rebound, and now they're trying to bring it back with a 5-point lead. Good hands there by the Wolves. They get the turnover. Now they got to hold on to the basketball. They do. Outside to Dowd, and he hits it. Goes away, gets it to Stampley. Stampley with the putback, can't go. Rebound now by Hoover.
But I like Dothan there. If you can get the turnovers and get it past the initial pressure and beat that second trap for Hoover at half court, Dothan will have opportunities. You just got to take care of the rock.
5-point lead now for the Buccaneers, trying to expand that lead. Dowd gets the missed shot on a good rebound by Dothan.
Yeah, and that's the one part of Salim's game. As you see him progress, that jump shot, he's going to work on that this summer. But I like the confidence to take it. You know, when you made a basket, you know, I like it.
Inside, but there was a push off there by the Wolves. Barry Bryson with that push off. We'll take a break. We come back. Hoover, under Coach Ware, has a 5-point lead. Stay tuned.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
I need the King boys.
Don't call two clowns in a tow truck when you're dreaming of them King boys.
Buccaneers have been playing well. 10-5 is your score. The scoring drought for Dothan has been the last 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And for Coach Ware, it all starts with the defense and playing together on offense, staying patient.
Sharing the basketball, playing every possession. It's just... It's Hoover. It's basketball, and they hold each other accountable. That's the thing. But watch their body language. It never changes. You never see them argue a call. They just play.
Seneca Robinson bringing it up, the 10th grader, 5'10", one of those young guns for this Hoover basketball team. They have some talented sophomores.
Seneca and Elijah Thomas come in, number 2, and they have one mindset. Get the ball to Brown and guard people. Watch how these guards, number 2 and number 4, come off the bench with purpose.
And yes, Mommy, big number 55 is just a sophomore. Dwayne Brown standing at 6'9", a little bit over 220 pounds.
Yeah, big-time SEC programs already on him in the house today.
I think I did see one that wears burnt orange of some sort, even though they'll have another burnt orange coming soon.
Yeah, this one's more of a bright orange. If you will.
Hunter's orange?
Hunter's orange,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Like the orange basketball.
There you go.
So y'all can figure out who we're talking about?
There you go. Because coming soon, it'll be 2 different oranges.
It will be 2 different.
Yeah, which will be weird.
I don't know. We may be going to a level people can understand. We may have to draw it back for them, or tone it back. Oh, there they go, trying to post up again. I think they run the same systems, James. Girls and the boys. The side outs, everything is similar.
Thomas right now trying to find a way to get it inside. Nobody's inside. They've cleared out the lane. Jumper does not go. There's Big Dwayne, but he can't get over Dow. Dow swats it away right into the hands of a Hoover Buck.
Yeah, and Stampy is doing a great job in this possession down there. But you see, they're fronting the post and not letting him catch it. And then there'll be backside help, so you can't get the lob over the top. Really focusing on Brown. Passers have to be ready right when he's open, when he catches it, right there.
Over to Brown, and his momentum took him away from the basket once again, but a good rebound there by Heron. Check that, Stampley with the rebound. Put back doesn't go for Blackman, and now back goes the Buccaneers, and they're off and running. And gets a foul, and he'll have to earn it at the line, Seneca Robinson.
Yeah, but for Coach Scott Ware, already going early to his subs. Dothan not as deep as you see the inside out. Nice rebound. Full court take by Hoover, by Robinson. But it's the ability to stay fresh. This is a two-game tournament. You know, can you keep from exploiting too much energy in that first early game? Right now, Coach Scott Ware's just running folks in and out, staying fresh.
Number of guys coming in. Hornsby taking a seat for Dothan. Adrian Doyle replacing him. 13-5 your score in favor of Hoover. That one doesn't go. Dow gets the rebound. And now the Wolves on the attack.
Nice ball reversal by Dothan. But this is a guy that's got to get going. You know, here comes a double. Man, I love that.
They try to double and doesn't go.
I think anytime you see Dowd put it on the deck, I think you're going to see Hoover come with an offside double. That's the second time they've done that.
Menifee trying to find a way inside. He can't. Gets it over to Blackman. Less than 30 seconds to play here in the opening quarter. High off the glass. It doesn't go. All the players sky up for the ball, but it will and it will be Wolves basketball.
This is a big possession. I know it's early in the game. It's the first quarter. But if you could somehow, you know, Hoover has been the aggressor. They've been a little bit more dominant than Dothan, but they're still here. Big shot right here. Get it down to 5. You're going to get the ball at the possession.
Oh, good one by Casiendo.
So disciplined.
Casiendo with the good steal.
Good steal. They're just so disciplined. They know exactly what they want. We get a high ball screen action here. That's the ball screen.
Got to take a shot, and they do right at the buzzer, and it doesn't go. Jared Fairley was the last man holding the basketball, but after one quarter, Scott Ware and his squad have a 13-5 lead, and they've really limited Thomas Dowd, but it's been overall team basketball for the team in orange. Stay tuned, more basketball coming up.
AHSAA TV Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA TV Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
AHSAA TV Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA TV Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
Welcome back to Legacy Arena here at the BJCC Semifinal 7A, and let's go over to the Heist Hits. Bart, you're up.
Absolutely, why not? Dothan's got to make timely shots. We talked about it. That was an opportunity there. Turned it over. Match the physicality of Hoover. If you can do it. Dothan did okay in this first half. Our first quarter, they're just going to have to find some ways to score the basketball. Maybe get out and run a little bit in transition. And Hoover, it's what they've done. Punch early and often and dominate the rim. That means score around the rim. That means rebound. It means pressure under the rim when Dothan's throwing the ball in. So far, it's kind of been on. Both teams feeling each other out. Very important 2 minutes here for Dothan.
And you say dominate the rim, and now entering the game for Hoover is Jake Hatch, who stands at 6'10". Rare when you can say they can get taller as they go deeper. And there he is, Hatch with the rebound. When you're 6'10", I mean, it's 6'10", enough said.
Yeah, and they're big right now, and sometimes they can even go with he and Brown in the game together and Casiendo, and they get really, really big. But right now, they're just running their stuff. Coming off a double here, you got some post-up opportunities. It's good action by Hoover.
And that jumper doesn't go. Rebound by the Wolves. Good job by Doyle.
If Dothan can force Hoover into shooting jump shots, and they've done a good job patrolling the paint, Hoover's not a great shooting team. Then you can get, if you can rebound, you can get out and run. So Dothan's in this thing, hanging around early. 2-3 zone led by Hoover now.
Blackman trying to find a way to get it to Dow, but they're doing a good job fronting him. Long distance shot doesn't go, and they crash the boards. Hoover gets the basketball back in transition. Yeah. Nice step and a foul, and they'll go shoot 2. That's where we find Jared Fairley.
Official Ken Barnett on the call, one of the best in the state. Yeah, and that's the thing about Fairley. You saw the Euros. He is so dangerous in transition. Just really understands how to attack the rim from both sides, right hand, left hand. When he gets downhill, he's a load.
Hits on the first, and now some of the starters coming back in for Hoover. And there he is, Dwayne Brown, who is the shorter of the 2 post players, just by an inch. Yes, by that much.
One thing about his 2 things about him I love, 3 things actually. He high points the basketball and everything. He keeps the ball chinned so people can't get it, but his feet, James, his early preparation footwork in the post is elite for a sophomore. Young players, when you're watching the game, don't just watch the ball if you're a post player. Watch him down low. Watch his feet. Watch how he moves. Watch how he gets position. It's really good.
Blackman's going to slow it down.
So now, 1-3-1. 2 possessions in a row. You get out of your man. You go 1-2-3, and now you go 1-3-1, showing multiple defenses. A lot of 7A teams are doing that, James. I've seen it all year long.
Dowd shooting an NBA-style 3, hits the backside of the rim. Casito with the rebound.
Really like Casito, James.
Foul called on Brown. Looks like he may have been a little bit too physical on that one, and Scott Ware just can't believe it.
Yeah, he's working. And sometimes what happens is you post so well that when you get down there and you're so physical, that the physicality just knocks the guy into the basket. And so that time, yeah, hey, if you're Dothan, absolutely.
No doubt.
Put the official in that position and maybe get this big fella out of the game with foul trouble.
Right. Doyle. And now we got a timeout, and Coach Bynum was like, wait a minute, you guys are talking to Ware so long. I'm trying to call a timeout, and they could not see it.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to explain to Ware what happened, and then the timing of that just went right along with when the timeout was trying to be called. And yeah, so we have a 10-point game here, and it's just, can Dothan score, James? I don't. Just like the other game, you're not going to score in a half-point once against Hoover. You're just not. The fundamental defense is too good, they're too long, they're too strong. Got to get out and run. Got to somehow get stops and get out and run transition.
And they've got to get this young man with the headband started, Thomas Dowd. He went up against one of the best players in the state on Baker High Filion, and really, he took it personal when they said he was the best player in the state, because Dowd says he thinks he's the best player in the state.
Oh, boy. Well, I don't know. Caleb Holt, that freshman yesterday, might have something to say about it, too. Right now, I do think foul him. I think LeBaron is the best player in the state. He's a dynamic shot maker, but it shows you. Dowd went head-to-head and wasn't scared of that matchup, so just got to be able to create shots or opportunities for your teammates if you're number 5.
Broadway didn't make it on the bright lights. He got it blocked, and now it's Hoover going back the way on offense.
I see what you did there.
Well, just slide, just a little bit.
Just ease me in, baby. Ease me in.
And a 3-pointer is good by Fairley.
Yeah, they're going to count the basket on the 3-pointer, and they're going to get Casito going to the offensive glass on the foul, but the basket will count. It did occur after the shot. So you'll see here, there's the pitch out. Got the shot. The foul's right there. It was a swing back by with the arm, direct call by Ken.
And Casito will take a seat after the foul was called on him. Broadway also taking a seat for Dothan, along with Hornsby. Berry Bryson back in for Dothan, and that shot doesn't go. And now back on offense is Elijah Herron. Fairly, dangerous pass to London.
Dothan's doing a good job now, Brown. They've got a lot of help. I mean, he's open in there, but it is an inkling right when the ball is caught, and that help is coming every single time. So this is as well as I've seen anybody in a minute guard Brown inside. Dothan just can't score.
They got to get Thomas Dow, their leading scorer, activated and get him hot.
I might like to post him here. Yeah, get him down there in the post somehow, or get him a catch down there where he can face up.
Oh, that one goes in and out for Menifee. That one doesn't go. Dow gets the rebound, goes back up strong, and there it is. Thomas Dow able to get an easy two. Now 18-7 is your score. Dothan still trails.
I like getting him down closer to the basket instead of the perimeter in this game. He's quick, he's crafty, he can use his hands, he can get rebounds, but get him touches closer to the basket and find him some icing. I like him. I like his game. Now, you've seen him, just for a quarter and a half. Yeah, I see what Troy's interested in.
Fairly trying to find a way to get something started offensively. And good stop there by Dow, but it goes right back to Fairley.
Now, Hoover's having a difficult time getting into some of their half-court stuff right now, just not people in the right places. And right now, this is what you need if you're Dothan.
And a timeout call by Scott Ware. He's not happy at all because his guard play has not been the best in that one. We'll take a timeout. We come back. We'll see if Hoover can get things going offensively. Right now, they have a lead, but it is shrinking. Stay tuned.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
I need the King boys.
Don't call two clowns in a tow truck when you're dreaming of them King boys.
And Scott Ware trying to get his team back on the right page. They have an 18-7 lead, but it's been the momentum of Dothan that has really stymied the progress of Hoover.
Yeah, it's been a stalemate in the second half. I mean, Hoover got that early lead, and then now everybody. Dothan has settled in. Hasn't been here. This school hasn't been here. It's two schools combined now to make 7A. The old Northview, Dothan High School, and so now everyone in Dothan is united and together in this trip. You see, the start has been good, but you gotta sustain.
Jared Fairley again for 2. He is the leading scorer for the Buccaneers with 7 points. Trying to find a way to get the ball in the hoop are the Wolves. Spin move, and wow, over big Dwayne Brown. It is Porter, A.J. Porter, that is, the 6'4" senior, able to do that.
Yeah, and Porter, that time, I think you can score against Hoover's zone from the baseline, James. I've seen some teams do that. That's a big shot right there by Herron.
Elijah Herron hits the horn, and yes, another long-distance shot connects.
Hoover just constantly switching defenses. And now they're in boxing, it looks like, or a matchup type man-to-man.
Brown with the rebound, gonna push it up. Trying to power in, and does a Celine London sophomore to sophomore connection there with the break.
Not just sophomore to sophomore, D1 to D1. But the pass by Brown gets the rebound, dribbles away from the pressure. Finds his teammate, man. How many big guys at 6'10" can do that and make that pass cross court?
No doubt.
Travel.
And a travel called on A.J. Porter.
Yeah, I mean, right here, you see the pitch ahead. You know, you got a shooter that we talked about the girls' game. Hoover has those runouts when they're in zone. And this time, didn't get to see the outlet, but the pitch ahead was what made that play for Salim. And then again, the craftiness with the left hand. Just a lot of pieces for the Bucks, James, that you got to deal with if you prepare for them. 10 deep, right? The only thing is the shooter.
No doubt.
I mean, and like today, you know, they're 2 of 7 from 3. That's really all they got to be.
Bryson Berry will go to the side because he was called for another foul even before they inbound the ball, and that's not what you want to see. It was a hold.
Holding. On the offense. Or on the defense. Automatic first down.
And London trying to sky into the lane, but he skies to nowhere.
Great hands that time by Dothan. He was above the rim, but folks out there, I'm telling you, if you're a young kid growing up, find someone to play basketball against this left-handed so you'll know what it looks like. Because London has got some tricks in his bag.
There was a foul call before the block. And that foul will be called on Elijah Thomas, but a nice block there by Dwayne Brown. And Dwayne was like, ooh, I got it clean. But, hey, the foul happened before, and he's like, okay, all right, I'm all right.
He did. That's one of those you look around and say, what? But, yeah, I like Dothan's mentality. They're not passive here. They're attacking, especially on the offensive glass. They've got 7 offensive rebounds to Hoover's 6. I bet if we went back and looked back at the stat sheet, the last time Hoover's been out-rebounded on the offensive boards in the first half, I bet it's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
So it shows you they're playing hard. They just can't quite get enough balls to go in.
Not yet. Not yet. Less than 2 minutes of play here in the opening half. 25-11, your score in favor of the Buccaneers. Winner goes to the 7A boys finals.
I really like how they're fronting Brown. You know, that is, I've watched all year, and I've watched people just let him post and just throw. And he's not comfortable right now.
Correct.
He's not. And this is the first game that I've seen, and this is taking anything away from how good he is. You see Coach Scott Ware, who'll probably get it figured out at halftime, or at least try to. But that when you're fronting the post, James, and post players think about it like this. You work hard, people don't throw it in there. Well, this time you can't even really work hard because you got standing for him.
Right. Brown almost lost it. He's able to retain it. Now they're going to try to work it around. And a good steal. Braxton Hornsby goes in for the score for Dothan, and that momentum now shifting in favor of the Wolves.
Yeah, and Dothan's Hornsby can give some problems. You see the foul there, and that will be a 1-and-1. Wow, tough foul there. Just heady play by Fairley. You know, understand goes, but the highlight, he's given good minutes. Hornsby has come in and brought energy, and that time might have been a damn one. But I'll tell you this, that was a big foul right there. With momentum-wise, you know, if Fairley could convert these, the momentum thing that we talked about, it's a big deal.
And Fairley gets the luck of the rim, and now he has 10 points, leading all scores. And now for Bynum, he's got to try to find a way offensively to try to get something on the board to cut into this lead.
And the thing about Hoover, James, is like, if you look at Dwayne Brown's line, he's got 2 points. Obviously, he's going to have rebounds. He's got 4 rebounds. But they've got other guys that can pick up the slack, and Fairley's doing just that. He is that third guy offensively. His game, it reminds me of a Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
You know, in the open court, you know, attacking the rim. That guy that can always win his matchup. Fairley's a very important piece of this Hoover team.
Dow kicks it out, hits the backside of the rim, doesn't go. Good rebound. They still retain possession. Less than 30 seconds to play in the half. Trying to find a way, and they get the basket, and it goes. Makai Menifee, the 6'2 junior, able to get some momentum to continue Dothan's way.
Yeah, he was. And that time, anytime you're guarding young kids, if you swipe down across arms, it's typically going to get called. It's even hard when you get all ball. You're going to have to get some hand. That was a big-time drive right there by Menifee, trying to get this momentum toward Dothan. It's about to be an 11-point game. If he can make this, set up your pressure, maybe get a turnover.
And he does make the free throw, as you said, to make it an 11-point game. And now he'll go to the side. And coming in now, Michael Coleman. And also to Marion Peterson. They don't want to chance any fouls that would happen for some of the players that they're really depending on in the third quarter coming up after halftime.
Big stop right here for Dothan. Gotta play without fouling on the drive.
There's Dow.
Oh my.
Woo, nice move, doesn't go. Brown gets it, but he touches the line now with 1.3 seconds left. We'll see if the Wolves can come up with a play.
Yeah, I'm lobbing it. I'm throwing it down court about as far as I can throw it. And, probably about 25 feet. And I'm going to try to get Dowd going up, attacking the ball at its highest point, and see if I can get a shot fake foul if possible.
Peterson the inbound. Gets it over, throws it up, and it hits the backboard, but it doesn't go for Michael Coleman. Halftime now for Scott Ware, 2 quarters away from punching their ticket. They have a 27-16 lead. We'll go to the break. Kevin Skrabinski will be at our sports desk for halftime, and so far, Hoover is up 27-16, but the Wolves may have the momentum. Alabama high school basketball. Stay tuned.
AHSAATVNetwork.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAATVNetwork.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Flu and pneumonia season is here, and now more than ever, it's important to get your flu and pneumonia vaccine. Staying on track with your immunization schedule protects your family and community against contagious viruses like influenza and pneumonia, which can cause illness, hospitalization, and even death. Having your family vaccinated on time is an important step toward ensuring their long-term health. Take action to fight the flu and pneumonia. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
AHSAATVNetwork.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAATVNetwork.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
And welcome back here to Legacy Arena. We're at the sports desk at halftime of the first boys 7A semifinal. Hoover stretching out a little bit of a lead, 27-16 over Dothan. Pleased to be joined by someone who is no stranger to Alabama high school basketball, the state finals. Greg Polinsky, now an assistant coach at Tennessee, longtime Alabama assistant, worked with the New Jersey Nets in the NBA. Greg, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, pleasure, Kevin. It's good to get back. You know, our roots are here, and always good to come to this event. It's great.
Yeah, Alabama high school basketball has a long and a rich tradition of turning out really good quality college players, many of whom go on to the professional level in the NBA overseas. And you have tutored some of those guys. You have coached some of those guys. You helped raise some of those guys.
Yeah, it's been, great journey for me. Being here, like you said, being at Alabama, being a part of this community for over 30 years, doing the NBA thing, now lucky enough to circle back as an older guy back at the college level. It's keeping me young. Feel very privileged to be doing all this.
Let's look at some first half highlights with Hoover again taking the lead. Very balanced performance by the Bucks. Jarrett Fairley, number one, really stepped up for Hoover. Dothan did a pretty good job containing Dwayne Brown inside. There you see Thomas Dow, Detroit signee for Dothan, with a nice pull-up. Dothan was all over the offensive boards. They just couldn't convert.
Yeah, I mean, listen, anytime that you can give yourself second opportunities in any game at any level, that's a big piece. I mean, both teams are playing very hard. Right now, Hoover's got a little bit of an edge. Yeah, Dothan made a nice little run, cut it, had a three-point play at the end of the half to cut it to 11. But again, Jarrett Fairley really stepped up for the Bucks. There you see him hitting a three-pointer. He finished with 11. He's your leading scorer right now at halftime, and that's the margin, with Hoover leading 27-16. We are really still just getting started here from Legacy Arena. We saw the Hoover girls take control and dominate in the first 7A girls semifinal. After this game, we'll have the second girls 7A semifinal, Foley and Sparkman. Then we'll find out who plays Hoover in the championship game. Then we'll have the second boys 7A semifinal, Central Phoenix City and Spain Park, about 1:30. And then we will start handing out blue maps with the 1A Girls Championship at 4 between Marion County and Spring Garden, and the 1A Boys Championship at 5:45, Oakwood Academy, and defending champion Covenant Christian. You definitely want to be here for that. We've got to run to a break. We'll be back here at Legacy Arena with more from Greg Polinsky and Kevin Skarbinski. Stay with us.
AHSAA TV Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA TV Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Flu and pneumonia season is here, and now more than ever, it's important to get your flu and pneumonia vaccine. Staying on track with your immunization schedule protects your family and community against contagious viruses like influenza and pneumonia, which can cause illness, hospitalization, and even death. Having your family vaccinated on time is an important step toward ensuring their long-term health. Take action to fight the flu and pneumonia. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
AHSAA TV Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA TV Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
And we're back here at halftime of the first boys 7A semifinal. Hoover leading Dothan 27-16. Again, pleased to be joined by Tennessee assistant coach Greg Polinsky. Deep roots in the state of Alabama. Worked for a long time on that Alabama staff with Wimp Sanderson. Won a lot of championships, but also did a lot of recruiting in this state and in the region, in the South. Now, Greg, we know you can't, by NCAA rule, talk about individual recruits, but I'm interested, how much have you seen high school basketball improve in the state of Alabama through the years?
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that there was great coaches during my time,
at Alabama, and then even, you know, in the NBA, you couldn't come to high school events, etc. You could. There was periods of time based on rules. But I think there's great coaches here. Just seeing George Hatchett walk by. Great coach at Vestavia for years, seeing Bobby Jones. I mean, and I still, the fun thing is, like, I see, you know, still some of the older coaches, some that are in this. So for me, it's kind of like, wow, I'm going full circle. Still seeing, like, you know, Ronnie Stapler, like, just some great coaches that are in this state. Obviously, you can see it out here. I think it's grown immensely. I think the rules have changed and lightened up. I can remember the days when there wasn't much high school basketball in the summer. Now, going to events and seeing it, I think that's really helped these guys develop and grow.
Yeah, one of the high school coaches told us they played 27, 28 games in summer ball in the month of June when AHSAA regulations allow that. And what an incredible opportunity for teams to be able to do that. Greg, give us just a quick word. Tennessee, great season. Obviously, you got one more at Auburn and then the SEC tournament. Give us about 10 seconds on where the Vols are heading
Yeah, no, listen, we just lost a great kid and a great player for us in Zakai Ziegler with an ACL injury. Great culture, great group, great kids, a lot of good seniors, and we'll see how we finish out.
Well, good luck to you and the Vols. Always good to see you. You've been part of making this state a hoop state, building up the sport of basketball, making it what it is today. All right, we are counting down to the second half, the first boys 7A semifinal. Hoover up 11 on Dothan. You don't want to miss the second half. We saw some life from Dothan. All right, we are ready to throw it back to the guys at courtside. James Verrett, Bart Heights, take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin and Greg. And I know you know Greg from your years of traveling down the basketball roads.
Do I? Is it
think
story
so.
time?
Well, you know, we got a few seconds.
All right, so Greg Polinsky comes to my house. This isn't a violation. The statute of limitations is up. Come to my house. Alabama offers me a scholarship. Early, and then a player emerged, Anton Reese from Georgia, that Coach Hobbs liked better, and they actually brought the scholarship back, and it was a very unique experience for Coach Polinsky at my house dealing with my mom, Mary Hike. Shout out, Mom.
Oh.
And every time I see Polinsky, just like a minute ago, he said, how in the world is your mom doing? So, yeah, man, game, respect, game. I love Coach P, and he's a legend in this state. He's coached everywhere at every level.
I told you I saw Orange in the building.
You did?
I told you. Thanks a lot to Kevin Stravinsky and Greg Polinsky during halftime, and now we're well underway here in the third quarter. Defense has been a premium for both teams.
Oh, yeah.
And there we go. Swipe, and Blackman gets the steal. And now let's see if they can do better on offense. They shot less than 20% in the first half. Can they improve? That's the question. And right now it seems as though they can. One shot and done. And now the Buccaneers back on offense.
The timeliness of those shots we talked about, trying to make them, and then the backboards, it's just been, you know, it's 18-16. They've done okay on the boards, but Hoover has settled that down from that early barrage of offensive rebounding from the Wolves.
Nice move, and it finally goes in. Great job by Jared Fairley.
The more I watch Fairley, the more I'm watching him grow as a player. He does a lot of things well, and he's only a sophomore. That's the thing. These kids are young. You got three guys, Fairley, London, and Brown, all sophomores. They'll be here for a while. Peace.
And Brown got a piece of that. That may constitute his first block of the game. And our first slam of the day, Dwayne Brown brings it home.
I've seen him play 3 or 4 times. When he makes a play on defense, then a play on offense, it usually gets him going. I expect Brown to be serious from the rest of the night.
And another block by Brown, but they'll call a foul. Thomas Dowd loses his headband in the process.
Look at this. Great pass up the court. Big fella out running. Hey! Good to see you, D-Wade. Powerful. Great hands, too.
And good job by Dowd not to try to contest that dunk. It would have been even nastier.
Posterized, if so. Maybe see him here, get to this free throw line, make one, see one go in from the perimeter. It's extremely important for that to happen. And now that stroke gets going, so you see a field that feels confident.
Hits the free throw, but shooting really has not been well for them. They've only shot 20% from the field, only 6 made field goals for the Wolves. High and right back, and he does get it to go, but they say no basket. Why? Because he hung on the rim, goaltender.
Well, it's not necessarily the hang on the rim, but when the ball pops back out and goes back in, it means you're dictating where the ball goes, right? So if he pulls back, watch this. If he pulls back, and then it goes in, it's fine. But to continue to hold, that's an excellent call by Ken Barnett from Winfield, Alabama.
Oh, he is. Oh, no wonder you knew.
Okay. He lives off Apple Avenue.
Okay. Next to Orange Avenue. Okay, I think so. Skying up, and they're able to make an easy lay-in. Jared Fairley, it seems as though he's trying to take over the game offensively.
He is, and Tariq, I knew I'd do it once. Salim London is so good coming from the left side, attacking the rim. He can finish, but he gets that pass, and the timing on Hoover's breaks, you can tell they work on their press breaks. Now going back zone, Hoover will try to get out and run on these rebounds.
Trying to go over the big man. He can't do it. A second block now for Dwayne Brown. And now they're off and running. Salim London can't find anything. And now London is going to try to bridge his way to get it to Casito. Can't find anything. Bat the ball away. But now they're off and running on the Wolves. And an easy lay-in. Good job there by Barry Bryson.
If they're going to get back in this game, they've got to score in transition before the Hoover defense gets set up. Because this zone for Hoover's dangerous because it produces offense if they get a stop.
Foul called on the reach-in.
You see here now, I love that time how Menifee, he was in the middle of the floor and went back to the right to create more space that the defender has to guard. Young kids out there in a 2-on-1 break, attack wide and make the defender guard more place.
Hornsby goes to the side. A.J. Porter coming in now for the Wolves.
Guard more space, not place. Sorry, Miss Maherg would have really gotten on to me for that grammatical error.
No problem. Can't find anything. We're going to kick it back out to Dow. Menifee gets the ball swatted away, and it will be a foul. And Makai Menifee will go to the line.
Yeah, that's that downward swipe. Drive, getting to the jump shot, though.
And they say that it was away from, no shot was taken, so you'll take it baseline. Cito, that is his third foul. And big block by Brown. I mean, when he's 6'9" and you're less than 6'3", what's the issue?
Well, you can't throw the ball right here because of the backboard unless it's a bounce pass, and then there's just not really anywhere to throw it except right there. That's where they want, and they want to go trap. Good job by Dothan to get it out.
Menifee gets it into Dow. Dow with the jumper hits the front side, can't go. Off of Casito, and it'll remain Wolves basketball.
Will remain Wolves basketball, but I like where they got it to Dowd right there. Getting it to him in and around that elbow. Where he can shoot, create.
Bryson the inbound. Now they want to try to set up something. Blackman with the basketball for the Wolves as they trail 33-19. Winner moves over to the state championship final. Doesn't go. Rebound Buccaneers. Another one and done for Dothan. Long distance. Doesn't go in. Hits the front side of the rim. Dow rebounds for Dothan. Wolves on the move.
So it's basically man on misses and zone on makes for Hoover. Now you're seeing them back in this man-to-man.
Menifee can't find anything. Gets it back over to Barry. Barry trying to get over Casito. Good stop there by Heron. And now they're on the move. And London goes sky. Salim London, and the bridge to scoring goes through London.
but he attacks the defender with the ball and then moves it to that left, and you just don't see it much. He's an excellent finisher around the rim in traffic.
Good move by Dowd, and Brown was coming in, but a three-pointer. Finally, the offense is starting to get going for Thomas Dowd.
Yeah, that's a good shot fake. Got the puppy set. Dothan trying to get back in it.
35-22, more basketball coming up. Stay tuned.
AHSAA TV Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA TV Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
AHSAA TV Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA TV Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
2:52 left here in the third quarter, 35-22 in favor of the Buccaneers. And let's check back in on those high hints to see what we've done so far.
Yeah, the timely making of shots hasn't happened. 2 for 18 from three-point line for Dothan, but a lot of their shooting so many because they can't get into the interior. 8 for 37 overall. That hasn't happened. Matching the physicality, not many people can. That hasn't happened either. Hoover's been punching early and often the whole game, and they've dominated the rim. So right now, the one thing though, the rebounds, Dothan's playing hard. You can always look at rebounds. It's 23-21. Hoover, those are Heich's hints.
And thank you, Mr. Heich. Heich's hints. Well, we'll see if Hoover can get things going offensively. Sort of slow down a bit because Thomas Dowd and company have been scrapping on the floor. Loose ball. They get it. The Wolves. Timeout was called by Bynum. Now, Coach Ware may have an issue with that because it didn't look like they had possession. But as soon as they touched the basketball, he called the timeout.
He did, and you know what? I don't mind if he had the ball or not. I want a good play rewarded. Watch this hustle by Dothan trying to stay in the game. Didn't have it there. He kind of had it, and it wasn't the player, it was the coach. I love the call. Reward effort. I like it. I don't mind it. It was a bang-bang call, just like a block charge. Coach is right on it. Those are two good cerebral plays, and the kid's playing hard. Don't mind it a bit.
No doubt about it. And right now, if you're Hoover, does it seem as though offensively they're a little rattled?
A little stagnant. I think Dothan has come out and really extended, not really extended the pressure, just turned it up just a little bit. Put a little bit more heat on them, and Hoover hasn't been secure with the basketball in the half court. When they've gotten out of transition in the second half, they've been dynamic as they have been all day. In the half court, Dothan's been decent all day. And if you can keep that transition, you'll get this thing, around 10, maybe 8 or 9 with, going into the fourth quarter. Anything can happen in Birmingham in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. Make sure you can follow the game. AHSAA TV Network.tv, and you can watch live stats, live audio, post-game press conferences, all on the website, AHSAA TV Network.tv.
Big possession right here, James. If they could score and get a stop, this thing could be back to 10.
Blackman trying to find a way, gets it to Dowd, wide open three. Oh no, it hits the front side of the rim, doesn't go. Bounces off of Brown, and it'll remain Dothan basketball.
I like the look they got, though, trying to get it to a 10-point deficit. But Dowd, he was on balance. It was a good look, just didn't go in. Keep shooting, young fella. Keep shooting.
A little bit over 2 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Finally gets the ball in. Dowd baseline, and yes, that one goes, and it is a three. And now we've got a little ball game. 10-point lead remains for Hoover.
Dowd is more of a scorer than a shooter, but he can get hot and make them in bunches.
Hoover trying to answer London. That bridge doesn't go to scoring, and now back way it goes for Dothan. Dow trying to find a way to create.
Be patient, be smart right here. Get a good shot, can run some time off. This thing's getting interesting. If you score here, you've already gotten it down to 8.
Blackman trying to hold on to the basketball, gets it over to Dow.
Rise up.
Hits the front side, Brown with the rebound.
Love the shot. Faced up, on balance, hands down. Don't mind it a bit.
Robinson gets it down over to McAfee, but it doesn't go. Let's take another look at those baskets.
Yeah, it was kind of, you could tell the action wasn't really what they wanted, but just a simple screen. And most of the time against Hoover, they're going to give you that corner. You can run action to get shots in the corner, because when it comes in, if you don't shoot it or get rid of it, they're coming to trap you, especially when it's Brown throwing it in. So that time, but Down, I just think he's got to keep shooting. He doesn't look bad. It looks pure. And then that opens up that drive to where you can get in the free throw line.
Casito is fouled by Dow.
That's his first, though. Just really like Casito. Really like his game. Just how he's progressed over the last couple of years. Good defense on the inbound.
Got to throw it long, and they do, and connect. Here, basketball now for Hoover. Casito gonna try to find someone, and does. Elijah Thomas for 3.
This bench for Hoover has come in games at times and played well all year, especially the last 3 weeks. And we don't ever talk about Elijah Thomas a lot, but his plus minus on the stat sheet at the end is always good. Answer.
And there's an answer. Makai Menifee, the 6'2 junior. Now it still remains at 10 with less than 45 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
And Coach Jeremy Bynum is on the floor playing defense, coaching. I mean, he is really into it. He smells that they're in this game.
Less than 30 to go. Thomas trying to find someone. He does. Fairley, leading scorer, trying to find his way in. Can't.
Wow.
And they go inside to Brown. It doesn't go. And there's that man again. Casito, Johnny on the spot with the lay-in.
Brown just kept working, and great passing that time by Elijah Thomas, and Casito for the cleanup.
Good job by Thomas Dow. That's what a lot of people came to see. And right now, it is a 10-point game, 40-30. Hoover 1 quarter away from punching their ticket, but do the Wolves have enough left in them? We've seen layups and dunks in the third quarter. Now it's one more to see who will punch their ticket. Stay tuned. More basketball coming up.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
I need the King boys.
Don't call 2 clowns in a tow truck when you're dreaming of them King boys.
.30 is your score. It's been Hoover statistically dominating, but the momentum now, Bart, has shifted toward Dothan.
It has, and that's what had to happen. 10-point games, we talked about. Anytime you can get around 8 or 10 in a low-scoring game, get you a couple of threes, a couple of turnovers here and there. Neither one of these teams look like they're going to, if I'm Dothan right here, I'm still playing through down. I'm putting pressure on. I'm playing the same defense I played. It's really worked, if you will. But we've got to get out in transition and get a couple of early buckets right here, because Hoover's going to come strong and start this fourth quarter.
Make sure you log on to AHSAATVnetwork.tv to catch up on all of the stats, audio, and also live post-game press conferences of everything going on in the Super 7 Finals.
Been really impressed with Coach Bonham's half-court defense as well. The angles, the cutting down of the dribble drives by Hoover. It's been stellar in the half-court.
Casito kicks it back out. Long distance shot by Fairley, but a foul called, and it'll go back toward the Wolves.
That's the shot you want Fairley taking, and that's no disrespect to Fairley. There's just so many other options that you have on the offensive end in the half court. So now, let's see what Coach Ware does here. Is yes, on misses, Hoover is going. What I mean by that is when the team misses, when Dothan misses, Hoover's going to be in man. When Hoover scores, Hoover will be in some type of zone look.
And they'll call a jump ball, and it'll remain Wolves basketball. Verity inbounds. And another foul call. Now this time it'll go against the Wolves, and it'll be Hoover basketball. And Coach Bonham is like, really? You're going to call that?
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those bang, bang, but it's a point of emphasis. It's a point of emphasis. And sometimes, you know, it's people jump on the referees, but that's what the rule is.
Correct.
So he has to call that.
Trying to find a way to get inside, and they do. Great job, but it is a charge. No basket.
Great take that time. Game-winning play down low from Dothan. Watch this. You got to be man enough to stand in and take the contact. There's no circle in high school basketball, and so that is supposed to be called a block no matter how far down. Don't necessarily agree with that, in my opinion. That's my assessment. But just because as a teacher, it's hard to teach college and high school. But that's what the call is supposed to be. Just like if there's not a shot clock. It's the same thing. You got to play by the rules. You have to always agree with them. You got to play by them.
I hear you.
Great call by the official.
Menifee trying to find a way to get open. He does and connects.
Yeah.
Makai Menifee. Now it's an 8-point game. A little bit under 7 minutes to play.
It is an 8-point game. Timely shot. That's what we talked about in Heich's hints. That's one of them, folks. Perfect example.
Foul called on A.J. Porter. Good pick there by Porter to free up Menifee for the 2.
Yeah, Casito didn't think he was going to rise up. He was just helping over, and then just a really good shot, really good take.
Casito right there inside. He's going to kick it back out, and it doesn't go for London. And now we've got a foul. He'll go the other way, and now that foul called on Big Dwayne Brown.
It is Big Dwayne Brown, but again, you're going to live with Fairley and London shooting jump shots. It's just a better option than them driving in the lane or throwing it to Brown or get out in transition. And so now on the miss, Dothan has had success against the man-to-man of Hoover because when they get a stop, they can attack the man-to-man and not that long zone.
Dowd trying to create. He goes inside. Good swat away by Brown. And Brown is forced to come out to the perimeter because what a lot of people don't realize, Dowd is the center. And he's handling the ball.
He is, and he's a... That's a great point, James, for what you have to do against Hoover. You either have to attack Brown from baseline up or get him out in ball screen situations. Wow, that was an athletic play.
Wow, swatted away by Salim London, and London doesn't bridge it to a turnover. It bridges it back toward the Wolves.
I mean, he was out long. Look at this. Look how long and quick London is.
He was off the ground by about 30, 35 inches.
He's long, but he's even more sneaky long than he looks like. And that play there, that's one of those plays that D1 coaches are like, whoa, okay, I see it. That's power foul.
Check mark.
Check mark. Checks a lot of boxes. Oh, man, golly, they had him open. He's going to take it anyway.
Long distance, goes off. Menifee trying to get the rebound. He does. Ball is free, and now Hoover gets the free ball. And there was a foul call.
foul called on a push on the break. We got a little bump there. Anytime you impede the offensive player's progress and keep them from getting to where they can go, it's a foul.
Timely fouls right now are important.
Yes.
Porter called for that foul. He's going to the sideline behind him, talking to him right quick. But you've got to have those in your pocket in a game like this.
You do, and the thing is, Hoover is not the best free throw shooting team that we've seen throughout the course of the season. The bonus is going to be big. One more foul, Hoover's in it. But if I'm Dothan, I want to get to the free throw line a lot. He's got to play without fouling here in white.
Less than 5 minutes to go here in regulation. Thomas gets it over to Fairley. Now London with the basketball. They're trying to find a way to get it inside to Brown. They do bounce it into Brown. He walks around and makes it in. Good job of making it with the step.
But the 180-degree turn, what I mean by that is he turned all the way around and got his feet square after he had his back to the basket. Post players out there, you got to get 180 degrees and get square, and then you have to finish with the left like you did.
Lead now goes back to 10 points. Dowd shooting long distance. The ball was tipped by Casido, and Dowd wants a foul call. He thinks his hand was touched. No foul there.
Might have got hit a little bit, but again, you see Coach Bynum on the action, getting Brown involved in some little on big screening action. I like the mindset of where Dothan's coach is going.
Casido does a good job of catching it, and now Ware will smartly call a timeout because offensively they were in no man's land with Casido making a save. 3:58. 42-32 is your score. Big Brown having some trouble, but he's able to find a way to make a bucket. More basketball coming up.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Get more this fall in Sylacauga with the power of 3. Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan. The time to buy is now, with more value and selection.
Long before we became a new car dealer, we were a used car dealer, and we know used cars better than anyone. Sarah has hard-to-find inventory arriving daily from around the country, with over 1,200 pre-owned cars and trucks to choose from.
Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga. Serving Alabama since 1981.
Timeout call by Scott Ware, the Hoover High head coach, and this may have been the longest lapse that we've seen offensively for Hoover. And for Dothan, their scoring drought has been the last 2 minutes and 35 seconds. That's something that has been the norm in this game. They've only shot 27% from the field, but this young man right here, Dwayne Brown, they need him down the stretch to play strong defense, but offensively try to get some points.
They do immensely. They always do. But Dothan is showing you a blueprint. Hoover can go through these stretches to where they can't, so they don't score it that well because they're not a great shooting team. Limit their transition, limit their post-ups. Dothan gets a, they need to get 2 stops in a row and 2 buckets.
Trying long distance, hits the front side of the rim. Dow skies up over Brown, gets the rebound, and now they're in transition. Menifee gets it blocked. Great block there by Fairley.
Dow got hit in the face, got hit in the eye.
And good job by the officials, just trying to check to make sure everything's okay there.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what happened here. Can't see it. See the block there.
There was a push by Menifee in the back ever so slightly, and Fairley took exception to it.
He did. Trying to see what happened to Dow. He got hit. He got caught up and tangled up maybe on the pass. He got hit in the eye. I hope he's okay. Looks like he is.
Trying to move the ball around.
Big one.
Dowd again hits the front side of the rim, but Dwayne Brown with a big rebound. A little bit over 3 minutes, good steal. right there by Blackman. Blackman again taking it, hits the front side, and now Brown again with the rebound. Casito now pushing it, getting over to London. Kicking it back over, three-pointer, and it's good. Elijah Herron, the senior, the smallest man on the court right now at 5'9", makes the biggest basket.
And Salim London is dangerous in the open court, makes so many right plays with the ball in his hand in transition. Big time move there.
Mid-range shot is working for Dowd. He may want to focus in on that down the road, but they break the press. And now London kicks it again. Another one. No, it doesn't make it, but Brown right there with the rebound. Long distance for Fairley, doesn't go. Good job by London, keeping it alive.
How about the athleticism of London, making the right play constantly. Just, you see why Tennessee's in the house looking at him.
That orange team?
Maybe?
I don't know. Let's take another look at the perimeter shot that goes in for Hoover.
Yeah, it's just, if Salim gets to the middle of the paint and he has an option to his left, right, he typically passes that ball, because they converge on him. But he's so crafty with it. He's an around-the-guy player, if that makes sense. Not over, not through, around. And a lot of left-handed guys are like that. James Harden is an example of that when he goes in the lane and finishes. So just not saying that these high school players are at that level of talent, obviously, but you see those glimpses. They have to add to their games. These kids are sophomores, but he makes the right play. I love it.
Now, if you're Dothan and Jeremy Bynum, you're down by 11, 2 minutes, 21 seconds left. What are you telling your team right now?
Well, we got to get turnovers. You know, we got to have efficient possessions. We said timely shots. I'm playing it through Dowd. Anytime I can get a, you got to get stops, number one. Then we got to run, and we got to score an early transition before Hoover gets their defense set up. Somehow I got to get Hoover in the bonus my next possession. They got 2 fouls. They've got to get Hoover. You got to somehow get to the free throw line and get back in this thing, inch away while the clock is stopped.
And if they do make it to the free throw line, they'll be 4 for 5. But for Hoover right now, they're even better at the free throw line, 5 for 6. And you see Elijah Herron for the Buccaneers. They're trying to punch their ticket to the final.
Well, and Hoover tries to finish, you know, and that's what the girls did. You know, can the boys do it? But I think overall, 7A is a lot of physicality. You know, last year in that game, in that state championship game, there were so many fouls. There's no way that this girl was just so high. This game has been clean, extremely clean. Only 5 free throws, only 6 free throws. And I may see some crimson in the house as well. So I definitely don't want to disrespect that.
Trying to chew a little bit of the clock away. Herron gets it over to Brown. Brown is trying to bounce it around just for a second. At the 2-minute mark now, and less than 2 minutes to play in regulation. And now they're playing a little keep away. And finally, Blackman will foul Herron.
Fouling Herron, trying to keep the ball out top. I like the way Herron's body language is, wanting, looks like he wants to walk up and shoot these free throws.
He had a big 3 that so far has put this game still in double-digit leads for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, Dothan's got to go quick. Dothan's got to go really, really, really quick here. The baskets haven't been coming in bunches, right? And if you got to outscore them, right? Either 2 for 1, 3 for 2, somehow. Each possession, you can't lose points with 150 to go down 10 is my point.
Second free throw is good for Herron.
You either got to match or get it back to 10 here. Or, worst case scenario, get that 6th foul so you can get it into the bonus and start the clock stopping when you're scoring.
Blackman on the move now for Dothan. As you say, time is against them. They've got to find somebody who's willing to shoot it. And Casito once again, Johnny on the spot, steal and score for Jonathan Casito.
big-time game-winning or game-closing play by Casino, doing what he does.
Very high off the glass for two. London keeps it, stays with the right hand, bucket and foul.
I mean, it's crafty, and he can use the right. So here, Casino, just the anticipation out in the passing lane. Obviously, they're trying to get it to Dowd. Great finish, and he knew how big that was. And you see London, watch him right here. He's been going to the left, Euro step around with the right hand. It's just, he's clever. He's a clever basketball player, and he's got tricks. And I like him.
No doubt. Free throw doesn't go. Dowd into the paint, and now he gets a nice free lay-in there. Foul called on Blackman.
Dowd's good. Man, he's real deal. I mean, I see what Troy is. I see what Troy's seeing. I think he'll play multiple positions in college, and he'll get to where he can step out and shoot that thing even better. But when he develops a post-up game, you can in that league, you can create a lot of matchup problems for him.
Now, when you talk about Dowd, and you're looking at right now, Fairley, just a sophomore, he's shooting that first free throw and hits. But for Dowd, you know, his development, consistently hitting those outside shots. You see Scott Ware right here trying to push his team a little bit closer to that final slot.
For Dowd, he's got a broad shoulder. He's got broad shoulders, so he can put on 15, 20 pounds in almost no time. And
no doubt.
Strength and reps is all that kid needs.
Brown with the block. It'll remain Wolves basketball because Brown stepped out of bounds, but another block for him. Looks like he has maybe 3 blocks, 4 blocks today for Brown.
And a lot of them, a couple of them on the perimeter, but it's not necessarily always the blocks, James. It's how many shots he affects.
Right.
It's hard to finish over, and that number is at least probably 8 or 10 a game.
Less than a minute to go. Long distance for Menifee, doesn't go. Dowd has the basketball. Being double teamed. That shot doesn't go. Menifee touches it, it goes out of bounds. And now with 35 seconds left, it'll be Hoover basketball. Guards are coming in now for the Buccaneers. Thomas is coming in, Casito going out, along with McAfee going out. And also coming into the game is
number 10, Braxton
Hornsby coming in now. And Heron in also for Hoover. Menifee taking a seat.
Yeah, right now, if you're Hoover, up 15, close the game out. It's not in question anymore. How about this Dothan team?
First-year head coach and Jeremy Bynum done a great job making it to the semifinals.
Folks in the Wiregrass have to be happy.
And I just found out this week about the Wiregrass. A little bit different than regular Bermuda.
My God. Yes, it is. I didn't know what it was. It was like one of those things. I used to work down there, and I'd drive through Dothan and Ozark, Detroit, and all those places. And people would talk about and it just seemed like Wiregrass, it kept growing. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's actually a really big area all the way up to like Enterprise and the whole. But Wiregrass basketball is growing. Enterprise was here last year. Now Dothan gets here. It's amazing, James, what happens when your rival goes good.
No doubt.
It really is. And it just raises the level of everyone's play around. And I think it's good for basketball instead of Alabama.
And Dothan made the change in bringing in Jeremy Bynum, and it seems as though it's worked out in a major way. Less than 30 seconds to play. Torber on the shot, doesn't go. Gets it over to Hatch.
Number 24.
Going right back in to Torber. And less than 10 seconds left on the clock, and they'll just hold it.
Solid win for the Hoover boys and the Hoover girls this morning. Sending a message.
And that is it. 53-41, and for Scott Ware and the Buccaneers, they punched their ticket to the finals. It may have not been the easiest game, but definitely the most effective in the way that they play defense and finding a way to find shooters to win the game.
What you got to do, they hit it on all cylinders in both games, but this one was a little bit more, I guess, closer than the last one as you see the score, but the game was really never in question. Hoover was dominant, both ends of the floor. They made the plays they had to make. Bucks are moving on, girls and boys. See them Saturday.
It is a orange final. Buccaneers are in. Stay tuned for Kevin Skabinski at our sports desk. Final, Hoover defeats Dothan 53-41.
AHSAA-TV-Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA-TV-Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
Dear doctor, your screens save my mom. You can keep my screens now.
It wouldn't be the holidays without working your hands a bit. That's how you create something worth remembering. Like those snowflake ornaments the kids done in grade school. Or those hand-breaded chicken sandwiches from Jack's. Got the all-new sweet hot honey with a kicked-up glaze. The always fresh fan-favorite cheesy bacon. And everyone loves the crispy southern fried classic. But would you look at that? Now that's a handmade masterpiece. Jack's, all about the South.
Communities don't just happen. They're built by people.
Ready for school? Yeah.
From the big moments to the small acts of kindness. It's the authentic connections we make that define us.
Nice.
At Alpha Insurance, we know that every day you're building things that are worth protecting. Because for us, this is more than coverage. It's who we are. Alpha Insurance, building tomorrow together.
AHSAA-TV-Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA-TV-Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
And it was a Hoover kind of morning here at Legacy Arena. The Hoover boys joining the Hoover girls in the 7A state championship game. The Hoover boys taking down Dothan in the first 7A semifinal 53-41 to punch their ticket to the 7A state championship game. Hoover boys trying to win their second overall state championship. The Hoover girls will be going for their third straight after dominating this morning in their semifinal. We saw an incredible all-around effort from Hoover. Great balance scoring. The big man, Dwayne Brown, he had some highlights. He didn't dominate. His presence was known, though, by what he did. He threw down a monster dunk, and it was a special performance all around for the Hoover Bucks. And again, it's very, very special when you send not just your boys team, but your girls team to the state championship games in the same year. You can see the Sparkman cheerleaders behind me. They're fired up. They're getting ready for the next 7A girls semifinal. They will be taking on Foley in just, about 8 minutes or so. If you want to watch the post-game interviews, go online. I've got this written down somewhere because I don't have it memorized. Vince, you got that graphic? AHSAA-TV.tv. Check it out. You can watch all the post-game action there. Hear the post-game press conferences, the champions, the challengers. Let's look at the highlights from the first half of Hoover against Dothan. And Hoover took control early. A big, big performance today from Jarrett Fairley. He set the tone as Dothan did a pretty good job down low on Dwayne Brown, not letting him do what he likes to do, not giving him a lot of space. Here we see, again, Jarrett Fairley dishing it off for an easy layup. Dothan kept battling all night long. Makai Menifee had a nice game. He kept making play after play to keep the Wolves within striking distance. But it was too much Hoover, too much Jarrett Fairley, and really a great overall team performance by the Bucks. They kept that lead 10 to 12 points for the most part. They led by 11 at the half. They led by 10 at the end of the third quarter, and they were able to close it out strong for that 53-41 championship. We saw, again, Hoover finding the seams, getting ahead. There's Dwayne Brown, 6'9" sophomore, making his presence felt with that strong power dunk. And again, Dothan would not go away. Speaks well of their program. Of course, this is the combined Dothan and the old Northview high schools come together to form a 7A school. There's Thomas Dowd. He's signed with Troy University, hitting the three. He had a slow start. He picked it up in the second half, but it just wasn't quite enough. Again, too much Hoover, the Hoover crowd, the Hoover team, everyone contributing. And again, they will be playing for their second state championship in Class 7A. They will await the winner of the second boys semifinal between Central Phoenix City and Spain Park to decide who they'll play in the championship game. We've got to go to a break. There it is, AHSAA TV Network.tv if you want to watch the postgame. We've got a special guest. Stay with us. Come back for Antoine Petway from Alabama. We'll be right back.
AHSAA TV Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA TV Network.tv will have live coverage of the postgame press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Flu and pneumonia season is here, and now more than ever, it's important to get your flu and pneumonia vaccine. Staying on track with your immunization schedule protects your family and community against contagious viruses like influenza and pneumonia, which can cause illness, hospitalization, and even death. Having your family vaccinated on time is an important step toward ensuring their long-term health. Take action to fight the flu and pneumonia. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
AHSAA TV Network.tv is your source for all things AHSAA. Coming up directly after this game, the AHSAA TV Network.tv will have live coverage of the post-game press conference for each of the contestants of this game.
All right. You up there? Okay.
And we are back here at Legacy Arena awaiting the second 7A girls semifinal between Foley and Sparkman. Very pleased right now to be joined by a special guest who has added another ring to his collection. Alabama assistant coach Antoine Petway, the Crimson Tide, coming back from 17 points down in the second half against Auburn last night in Tuscaloosa, sending it to overtime, gutting out a 90-85 win and clinching the outright SEC championship. Antoine, congratulations.
Thank you.
How much of a grind was that last night?
Oh, it was a big-time grind. We were over there sweating. Our players just kept fighting the entire time. Auburn really gave us like they gave us a heck of a shot, man. They came in